We get a whole variety of different, requirements. People saying, look, we've got a small space, or we've got plenty of space available, or actually we need it in two parts because we actually can't get it down the stairs. So we'll actually split the board up. We'll build it here, assemble it, test it, and then we'll dismantle it or split it into half and then take it to site in two separate halves. So we've done that.
Is that because access is a problem on site?
Access,
like
yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Even go around corners as well. So we've done that a few times. So.
Hello and welcome to this CEF podcast. We are here with the fantastic Kieran from Proteus, Dave.
The fantastic Kieran. He's been marvellous.
Thank you very much.
He's looked after us very well.
He has looked after us. So we've come here to Proteus today to look at what they've got and how they do it. There's two different sites. There's two fantastic opportunities for lots of engineering that we've seen, haven't we? I don't think we've truly realised what we were going to be looking at, did we?
Well, you told me we were going for a couple of days out to look around some factories, and I thought that sounds fab. And we're going to Proteus, and I thought, well, I know they make consumer units, so that's going to be interesting.
But I don't think you realise the scale.
No idea what we were walking into here. It's like the TARDIS. You come into these factories, they're enormous. And
You keep this a secret, though, don't you? You don't go telling many people, do you, Kieran?
I think it's our biggest kept secret, I think. So,
So we need to break all this down because we've seen several manufacturing processes today. So
We have, yeah.
give us a bit of a sketch, Kieran. In this one, what are we going to look at?
So we're here at... Which one are we at? I forget which one we're at. We're at Telford.
we're at Telford, Proteus Industrial today.
Proteus Industrial, right.
Yeah.
So we've seen lots of out there. The guys are installing some enormous panels for some solutions out on site. What's all that about? How do you get involved in it? How do they find out about it? Is it via inquiry? Do we go out to them? What's all this site all about, mate?
Well, I think historically, obviously, at Proteus Industrial, we're building three-phase distribution boards primarily, and whether that be from a conventional Type B distribution board up to a floor-standing panel board system, 2,500 amp incomer. Yeah. And historically, we would get those sort of inquiries via CEF. I think in the last few years, it would be fair to say that with the EV rollout, I think what we're finding now is we're getting a lot of feedback from...
Well, I've been astounded how much EV stuff's
We've walked around the factory review, haven't we? And the factory manager here. And nearly everything that we're seeing is EV related.
And enormous.
Oh, when you say enormous, you mean physical. I mean,
Physical
you're quite
and-
tall, Dave, aren't you? These were bigger than you,
These
weren't
are
they?
big, and then currently, the power that they're utilising.
Yeah, the amount-
300 kilowatt charges going in there for forecourts. I mean, seriously big bits of kit.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was interesting, nearly every single one of the people that we're looking to work with, our customers, believe that theirs was the right solution. But they all believe that Proteus was the solution. No matter what they believe was right, it was all going to be us.
Because they are specifying, aren't they? I mean,
Yes.
very much these things are bespoke. They're not just... You're not just rolling a production.
No,
line
not
out
at
there.
all. Everyone seems to have a different solution.
That's it, yeah.
And that, I think that's probably where our business is. It's, providing those solutions to customers. And what we're finding now is customers are coming to us and saying, look, we need a solution for distribution for a number of EV charge points, and that's a variety, whether it be 7.2, 22 kilowatt, even up to the bigger DC chargers. So we're having to provide that solution, but really working with them and giving them the options, almost giving them ideas really about how they should be doing it, which rightly or wrongly.
So the guys here can lead, can they? Rather than a customer just coming to you and telling you that's what they want, which I'm pretty sure you'll help them find.
Absolutely.
But you guys will lead. So there's a team here, is there, that will look after the design?
Yeah, we've got 3 guys downstairs that will do that. So work on the quotations department. So and that'll be everything from whether, again, the smaller, Type B distribution, Type A boards as well, all the way up to then the bigger EV distribution. So yeah, we'll do all that for them and give them advice where we can. So
now we know Type B is something that you and I talk about, Dave, when we're looking at the amount of DC that's possibly coming back in off of a car. You guys, Type B, that's not new to you, is it? So
no, Type B has been for some time now. So we've been doing that for some time. And obviously now what we're doing as well is actually putting Type B into these bigger charge points.
Yeah.
And actually up to, quite a few, or over 1,000 amp Type B RCD
Big
protection.
Type Bs.
They are beasts that you guys are
Yeah.
installing. Now, lots of people out there believe that they are doing it the right way. You guys will then help them find the correct solutions. But you manufacture here as well, don't you?
Correct.
But when I say manufacture, ladies and gentlemen, I don't just mean they go and find something and make all these bits and components fit. You actually build the assembly as well, don't you?
The whole thing, yeah. So we've got a laser cut-in facility downstairs, so we can take a design. So the estimation team will actually get the product drawn up in a CAD drawing. That will be submitted to one of the engineers. They'll program they'll program the CAD machines to actually laser cut the blanks. You've seen that
What's
today.
happening? And these things can be bespoke for size in terms of fitting into spaces that you make them to fit. Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just off the shelf stuff.
We get a whole variety of different, requirements. People saying, look, we've got a small space, or we've got plenty of space available, or actually we need it in 2 parts because we actually can't get it down the stairs. So we'll actually split the board up. We'll build it here, assemble it, test it, and then we'll dismantle it or
clever.
split it into half and then take it to site in 2 separate halves. So we've done that.
Is that because access is a problem on site?
Access,
Like
yeah,
that? Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Even go around corners as well. So we've done that a few times. So
That's going the extra mile, isn't it?
Going
That
the
one?
extra mile.
Round a corner.
And then in terms of the kit that you're putting inside it, there's various solutions that are available out there on the market, which you've brought in and now make a composite unit.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because Dave and I on Tech Talk Series 1, we were talking about all this stuff about energy monitoring and current transformers. Some people were looking at us like we had 2 heads. But actually, nearly every single bit of kit we've been looking at today, current transformers in nearly all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a big demand now. So obviously energy monitoring, whether that be load management or just understanding where the energy is being used. So yeah, whether it be a single phase or 3 phase, we're finding energy monitoring a real big requirement.
So when they ask for the CT on the incomer, would you be using that mostly for energy monitoring or mostly to load manage?
Mainly for energy monitoring.
Mainly energy monitoring.
Yeah.
And also, I saw that it was related as well to the type B characteristics of the devices that these guys have got. So they've put in these great big huge current transformers. These are normally the loops that you'd find within your RCD components. They sit there as well, and they're enormous. These things you could always get your head through.
Dinner plates.
Yeah.
So enormous, aren't they? So now, all of these solutions that you guys are offering here, that's the big stuff. That's the absolute enormous stuff, isn't it? But also you do some of the smaller stuff, some of the lighter range that we were talking about. So this is the consumer units and stuff like that we've seen.
I think that's the little girly stuff that Ian talks about, I think. So, yeah, up to 100 amps. So, that's... we do, obviously down at Redditch, we do the single-phase switchgear. But, of course, energy monitoring is becoming a big thing with that as well. So whether that be for, a whole consumer unit, put in an energy monitor in there, or actually doing split energy, so power and lighting separate. So we've done a number of projects recently, and I think you guys had a sample board at Tech Talk 1.
Yeah, we did. To wave around.
That's an example of how it's done. And we talked about the project that you were involved in Leeds as well, where there was a lot of energy monitoring used
that's it.
In the Leeds.
Student accommodation.
That's
it, yeah.
And that helped to save a lot of energy, didn't it?
Yeah, actually, they can actually then identify where that power is being used, obviously in the student accommodation. So communal areas, obviously, not so bad. But then when you get to the individual rooms and you find some students are maybe doing
tumble dryers.
Yeah, you found
things
a tumble
going
dryer,
on.
Yeah. Now, looking at the production that you've got down there as well, what's quite easy to see and pick up on is that the RCD element that you guys have got, and we met the not general manager, what's his name, CEO, Colin
Franks.
Yeah, Colin Frank, bless him.
Managing director, yeah.
Yeah, hold on, let me give his business card. Yeah, yes. God. We met him, and he was absolutely adamant that the RCDs coming out will be 100% tested.
They are, yeah.
So that's
So whether that's
every single device then coming out, and there's a lot of them, you guys are putting on some sort of rig and testing, is that right?
Correct, yeah. So whether we're manufacturing that in Redditch or whether we're manufacturing that in Telford here, then every electronic device will get 100% electronically
We actually watched
tested.
the lady doing it. I've forgotten her name now.
Yeah,
Paula,
bless
Paula?
her. Yeah, so
we interrupted.
doesn't do them all. Doesn't do them all, but her and her team, she does. They get through quite a few, to be fair, in a day. So
now they also do bespoke solutions down there, don't they? So it's not just here the big stuff. So if I want the big stuff, I know where to come. I can talk to my guy over at CEF. They'll involve me and introduce me to the guys here. We can come up with a bespoke solution. But down there, if I've got a number of boards, let's say I've got a number of installations that are all going to be the same, talking again to you guys, you can facilitate that for me as well, is that right?
yeah, absolutely. So we. Well, you saw today, every day there are what we call specials going through. Products that are a little bit bespoke, either a slightly different configuration of a standard board where somebody says, look, actually, I need a little bit more ways on here. Can you do that? We'll do that. Or it could just be an out-and-out special where somebody says, look, as we saw one of the boards being built, for a caravan application. So
yeah, we saw that one, didn't we?
And it seems to have become something of a market strength. Proteus. The whole idea that you're accessible. I mean, you say that people can speak to you. You're actually available to them.
Yeah.
Fancy that.
Not going to give my phone number out, are we? No, most definitely. I mean, obviously, supplying CF is great in that respect, and they'll literally pick up the phone and say, "Can you speak to my customer? He's got an application. What can you do?" So, and you'll talk it through with the customer. Maybe give them some advice. Say, actually, we can do it a little bit better. Can you have you got this space available? Have you got that space? We can use a standard enclosure, or if not, we'll just make a bespoke unit for them and pre-assemble a unit for them, ready to go.
Now, I think that's the big thing here, isn't it? The fact that these solutions, a lot of people think, oh, I've got to be spending lots and lots of money with you. The orders must be absolutely enormous with you. No. Actually, you guys will talk to anyone about the solutions that you can offer because it's via the CF network, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. So if it's a one-off board and somebody wants it slightly different in terms of configuration, or they want it pre-populated with contactors, timers, surge, whatever it needs to be, then we'll do that for one-off. Similarly, if they come along and they say, we've got a tower block with 400 apartments, then yeah, quite nicely we'll.
Now there is massive advantage doing this, Dave, because if I was to go out of my way, let's say I was to be given a job fitting some of these EV chargers that you may have heard something about.
Something's happening out there.
Apparently so.
So I choose to go out and buy all the components. So I go out and buy some feeder pillars, I go out and buy some boxes and bits and bobs, and I start to install my own. So I go out and source it, and I now become the assembly manufacturer. Mm-hmm. So I take on the risk. Now, I know full well through my years in contracting, my insurance never covered me for that. If I started to move outside of my parameters, I was covered for installation. I wasn't necessarily covered for assembly manufacturing. So I could just get rid of that risk by ringing Kieran and the team and saying, do us a favour.
Does your insurance come in?
Yeah. Can you do me this, that and the other? Yeah. I'm actually probably going to find out that you'll go and source all them components for me. You'll do it in an environment that we've seen today that is a controlled environment.
Well, and also there's a big ethos in here of testing. Testing.
Yeah.
I mean, but both the finished configurations, but also individual components. We've seen the light switch being tested today over and above the requirements, because you've already met the British standard. It works.
That's it.
But you want to do it yourself just to be sure.
Yeah, I think it's just that peace of mind, just understanding, like we do with RCDs, RCBOs. We saw the batch testing on MCB devices that we do.
We saw that, didn't we?
Down at Redditch. So, I think, our business and where we're situated, obviously, we want to make sure that product quality going out is, second to none. So, we've made a decision that we'll 100% test RCD
and
devices.
An interesting thing that this individual approach that you seem to have, everything's running out. Space is being doubled, manufacturing's being doubled, new machines are coming in, so clearly it's working and the market's growing.
Yeah, it is. I think all our businesses are doing particularly well. I think obviously on the back of CEF's growth over the last few years, we're sort of, following that sort of growth, but we're picking up, a lot of project business now, and it's with customers that historically probably we've never dealt with, and I think the brand is, it's sort of getting out there.
Well, I think it's Chinese whispers, isn't it? Someone said, I need this, and I can't quite get it there. You guys offer that approach where you'll listen, which is quite unique. So you'll listen, and then after that you'll take that and say, right, is this what you want? Do you go out on site? Is that some part of it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a team of sales engineers dotted across the UK, and where required, they'll go in. So if we're looking at a big, floor standing panel board as an example, that could take maybe 3, 4, 5, even 6 or more, site visits, because there's a number of obviously considerations to take into account. So we'll do that, and similarly, if it's for for a smaller project, we'll go and see the customer. So whether that be at a branch or at their office, so we can do that. Likewise, obviously, customers come into the factory, and we see that quite a lot. So
we can come here. So not just me and him. We thought we were special today, didn't we?
Well,
apparently, we're not that special. You have anyone round, apparently.
Pretty much, yeah. So no.
How would they do that? They contact through the CF branch?
Yeah, usually through CF. So, or if they're dealing with the factory direct, a lot of the time, a lot of CF customers now, obviously, or CF branches, they know that the business will go through CF, so there's no risk of obviously that business going outside of CF. So if we keep hold of that for them, there's no risk with whether it be myself or my colleagues speaking directly with the customer, and we'll just liaise with them.
And certainly well worth it, because just to see the process and the dedication that goes on in the manufacturing and the volume of the stuff, it's incredible.
Well, I think my takeaway from today is the amount of manufacturing that we do here. So the fact that it comes in raw materials, it's cut to size, it's cut to shape, it's painted here, it's then all the components are put in, they're tested, the tolerances are confirmed, it's then also designed with to make sure it absolutely does exactly what it's meant to do. Every single bit from conception all the way through to actually delivery is handheld by you guys at Proteus, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, see, for me, I don't think you're going to get much better than that, are you? Kieran, it's been an absolutely fantastic insight to what you do here. It has been a fantastic day. Thank you to you and Ian and the rest of the team that have been doing a lot of the showing us around. And don't forget,
to like it.
if you like it,
Subscribe to
it. If you share it. And if you want to do anything else with it, just scream and shout about it. Thank you very much for listening to another CEF Tech Talking podcast.